Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots from the Snarful Solutions Group. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan. We're here to break down what's really happening in tech, policy, finance, and, well, how it all connects.
Yep, figure out what actually matters. So it is Monday, September 22nd, 2025.
And here in Sacramento, it's looking like a hot one. Sunny, a high of 95 Fahrenheit expected today.
Stay cool out there. Nationally, though, a bit more active. There's a risk for severe weather flash floods, winds, hail stretching from the Great Lakes down into the Ohio and Tennessee valleys.
Right, and also across the central and southern plains. Plus, keep an eye on the Atlantic. It's still active, causing some high waves and rip currents on the East Coast.
Definitely. Okay, some better news, especially for Bay Area folks. Giants won.
Yes, took down the Dodgers yesterday, 3-1. Nice, solid win.
Felt good. Spencer Bivens got the W, and Christian Koss went 2 for 4. Always good to beat LA, right?
Absolutely, we'll take that. Okay, quick look at the markets before we jump in.
Yeah, let's do it. So Friday's close. Pretty quiet for the big indices. The Dow Jones was down just 0.25%. That's about 114 points. Closed at 46,092.41.
And the S&P 500, basically flat. I mean, really flat. Down 0.30 points, not even a percentage change to speak of. Landed at 6,653.98.
But, Bitcoin, different story there. Took a bit of a tumble.
Yeah, down 2.31%. That's, let's say, over $2,600 off. Closed around $112,632.
Still volatile, which, actually ties into one of our stories later.
It does indeed. Okay, before we get to the main event, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Pins and Aces.
That's Pins and Aces. They've got really great premium golf apparel, accessories, all that good stuff.
Top quality gear. And hey, if you're looking to upgrade your style on the course, we've got a deal for you.
Use our promo code SNARFUL. That's SNARFUL, SNARFUL at checkout. You get 21% off your whole order.
21%. That's pretty substantial. Find them online at pinsandaces.com.
Pinsandaces.com. Check them out.
Okay, let's get into our Morningstar report. 3 big stories today, all kind of orbiting this theme of control and stability online. First up, TikTok.
Ah, yes, the never-ending saga of TikTok's U.S. operations. This is about the forced sale from its Chinese parent, ByteDance, right? Because of those national security worries.
Exactly. That law passed last year under Biden is forcing the issue. But the new development is who President Trump is now saying is likely to be involved in the American group buying it.
And it's some heavy hitters. We knew Larry Ellison from Oracle was in the mix, mostly for the data side of things.
Right. Oracle's managing the data, the privacy components. But the new names dropped are Michael Dell. Yes, that Michael Dell, CEO of Dell Technologies, and Rupert Murdoch and his son, Lachlan.
Whoa. Okay. The Dell part is interesting, but the Murdochs, that adds a whole different dimension. We're talking Fox Corporation here.
Well, that's the nuance, isn't it? Sources are saying Lachlan might not be involved individually, but Fox Corporation itself, the conservative media giant behind Fox News, could be a player.
That's fascinating. You've got this massive youth culture platform, 170 million users in the U.S. alone, potentially having ownership ties to a major conservative media outlet.
It really shifts the conversation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond just data security, now it's about potential influence, maybe even content direction down the line. Trump called the involved parties American patriots, so the framing is definitely political.
And there's more structure coming into focus, too. The White House apparently detailed the board setup over the weekend.
Yeah, this is key. The controlling board for the U.S. entity will have 7 seats. 6 of those 7 must be Americans.
6 out of 7, okay. And the biggest piece, U.S. control over the algorithm.
That's the linchpin. The deal reportedly involves the U.S. having control over TikTok's recommendation algorithm. That's the secret sauce, right?
Absolutely. That's the engine. Control the algorithm. You control what people see, what trends take off. This isn't just a sale. It's potentially reshaping a huge chunk of the digital public square. Big implications for you if you're one of those 170 million users.
Huge. It's about security, influence, the future of online content. Okay, shifting gears now from algorithms of influence to, well, algorithms of finance. Let's talk Ethereum.
Right. Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder, he's got this vision for how Ethereum can become sustainable long-term, and he's using a pretty interesting comparison.
Yeah, he's basically saying that low-risk DeFi, decentralized finance, needs to become Ethereum's Google search.
Meaning,
Think about Google. Search and the ads around it, that's their cash cow. It's stable, reliable revenue. And that massive income funds everything else they do, Pixel phones, Gemini AI, all the moonshots, you name it.
Okay, so Buterin wants something similar for Ethereum, a steady, dependable engine. But what exactly is low-risk DeFi in his view?
Good question. He defines it pretty simply. Things with clear utility. We're talking payments, savings tools, synthetic assets, and crucially, fully collateralized lending. So loans where there's enough locked up value backing them. Boring stuff, almost.
Boring but dependable. And he's setting this against the stuff that made headlines before?
Exactly. He contrasts it with the speculative stuff, crazy yield farming, those NFT booms and busts, and he even called meme coins embarrassing, frankly.
Yeah.
They generate fees, sure, but they're volatile, risky, not a foundation you can build on reliably.
So it's about finding a revenue stream that's both profitable and aligns with the sort of positive potential of the network.
It's his argument. He talks about this tension between things that just make money versus things that align with the network's values doing well versus being good, as he put it. Low-risk DeFi, he argues, does both. It provides real utility.
And the utility is pretty concrete, right? Like those stablecoin interest rates.
Absolutely. You can get deposit rates around 5% on stablecoins like USDT or USDC through some of these protocols. For people in many parts of the world, that's huge. It's permissionless access to savings, potentially more stable than their local options. Global reach.
And that stability, that boring revenue, then lets Ethereum fund the next wave of innovation.
That's the idea. Once you have that solid base, you can start exploring the really cutting-edge stuff. Reputation-based lending, where you don't need massive collateral or new kinds of stablecoins.
Like flat coins, or currencies pegged to a basket of goods instead of just the dollar.
Exactly. Things indexed to inflation, maybe. Real financial engineering. But it needs that stable foundation first. It's a shift from crypto as just speculation to crypto as a potential global financial utility.
Fascinating strategic move. Okay, so from stable finance to a major legal fight over how the current internet gets funded. Let's talk Google's ad tech trial.
Right, this is a huge one. Judge Leonie Brinkema already ruled that Google illegally monopolized the online ad market, specifically how they tied their publisher ad server, DFP, to their ad exchange, ADX.
Okay, so the ruling happened. Now it's about the fix, the remedies phase, they call it.
Precisely. And the Department of Justice is asking for the biggest possible fix, a structural remedy.
Which means?
Breakup. They want Google forced to sell off AdX, its ad exchange. They see AdX as the core of Google's monopoly power. And they want Google banned from even operating an ad exchange for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the antitrust nuclear option. They also want the ad auction logic open source.
Wow. Okay. And Google's response, I assume they're not thrilled.
Not thrilled is putting it mildly. They're calling divestiture excessive. They argue it would hurt publishers, especially small ones, mess up the whole ecosystem. Instead, they're pushing for behavioral remedy.
Behavioral. So, like rules they have to follow.
Basically, yes. Mandated changes to how they operate. Things like making their system work better with rival ad tech, getting rid of certain pricing rules that might give them an unfair advantage, stopping practices like first look or last look that privilege their own exchange.
So it's interoperability and rule changes versus a full separation.
That's the core conflict, and the stakes are incredibly high for how you get your news, how websites make money. This judge has to decide how a vast swath of the open internet will be funded in the coming years.
And didn't Google just go through another big antitrust case, the search one?
They did, yeah, just earlier this month. And in that case, they managed to avoid a structural remedy. They didn't have to spin off Chrome or Android. They got behavioral remedies instead.
So that precedent, it probably gives Google some hope here, right? But the judge in this case could still decide differently.
Absolutely. Judge Brinkema has to decide. Can Google be trusted to follow the rules, or is the only way to ensure fair competition to actually break up the integrated system? It's a fundamental question about market power and regulation.
Huge decision looming.
Oh.
Okay, wow, lots to think about there.
Definitely. Before we recap, one more quick thank you to our other sponsor for today, Skoni.
That's Skoni, S-K-O-N-I, pronounced Skoni. They make premium golf shoes. If you want style and performance on the course, check them out.
And again, we've got a deal for you. Use that same promo code SNARFUL, SNARFUL, at checkout on their site.
This time it gets you 15% off your entire purchase at Skoni. That website is skoni.com, skoni.com.
Great stuff. Okay, so let's quickly tie things together from today.
We started with TikTok. The big names getting involved, like Dell and potentially Fox Corp, and that crucial fight over controlling the board and, more importantly, the algorithm. It's politics, tech, and influence all rolled into one.
Then we shifted to Ethereum, with Vitalik Buterin arguing for boring, low-risk DeFi as the stable engine, like Google Search, needed to fund future, truly innovative financial tools and gain broader trust, moving from hype to utility.
And finally, the Google ad tech trial. The DOJ demanding a full breakup of their ad exchange. Google pushing for just rule changes. A decision that will fundamentally shape how much of the internet gets paid for. Structural versus behavioral remedies, that's the key battleground.
3 very different arenas: social media, crypto, online ads, but all facing these huge questions about control, stability, and who gets to set the rules for the digital future.
It really highlights how important it is to connect these dots, doesn't it? Understanding the forces shaping the tech you use every day. Absolutely. We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.